In recent months, the skies over New Jersey and New York have been the stage for a series of perplexing aerial phenomena. Residents and officials alike have reported sightings of mysterious drones and enigmatic plasmoid-like objects, sparking widespread speculation and concern. This deep dive aims to unravel the facts, explore the theories, and shed light on these unexplained events. So first, let's talk about the surge of these weird drone sightings over the East Coast. Beginning in mid-November 2024, numerous reports emerged of unidentified drones hovering over various parts of New Jersey. These sightings quickly spread to neighboring states, including New York and Pennsylvania. Witnesses described drones of unusual size, with some as large as SUVs, often flying in coordinated formations and lingering over sensitive areas such as military installations and critical infrastructure. The New Jersey State Police reported drones measuring up to 6 feet in diameter, a stark contrast to your typical hobbyist drones, which are usually between 12 to 8 inches. Despite extensive investigations by federal and state authorities, including the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security, the origins and purposes of these drones remain unidentified. White House National Security Communications Advisor John Kirby stated that neither federal nor local law enforcement could corroborate the reported visual sightings, leading to increased public frustration and a plethora of theories, according to the New York Post. So, the plasmoid phenomena is another thing that's kind of going on around the same time as this. Here's a possible explanation, but we're going to dive deeper into this later in the video. So, amid the drone sightings, reports of plasmoid-like objects, glowing plasma-based entities, have also surfaced. These phenomena are characterized by their luminous appearance and erratic movements, often defying conventional explanations. Some researchers propose that these plasmoids could be a form of sentient life or natural atmospheric occurrence, potentially accounting for some of the UAP sightings, according to Script. The U.S. Navy has conducted experiments creating mid-air plasma formations using advanced laser technology, which can produce images resembling UFOs. This capability raises questions about whether some sightings might be attributed to military testing or other controlled experiments, according to Forbes at least. So the public reaction and theories to this, these can get crazy, and we're going to get into these a little bit later. The enigmatic nature of these sightings has led to a surge in public speculation and conspiracy theories. Some individuals, including public figures like Bethany Frankel, have expressed unease, suggesting that these drones and plasmoid sightings could be something of a larger undisclosed activity, according to the New York Post. And online communities have also revisited theories such as Project Bluebeam, which is a conspiracy aligning that global elites plan to simulate an alien invasion to establish the New World Order. While lacking credible evidence, such theories highlight the public's desire for transparency and understanding regarding these unexplained events. This is coming from the New York Post as well. All right, so the official responses and ongoing investigations, authorities have acknowledged that the sightings are there, but they have yet to provide any explanations at all. The Federal Aviation Administration imposed temporary flight restrictions in certain areas, but they lifted them in January of 2025, after which sightings reportedly surged again. This is from the New York Post. The lack of concrete information has prompted calls for more robust investigative measures and public disclosure. As investigations continue, the true nature of these drones and plasmoid phenomena remain an open question, fueling ongoing debate and curiosity. These mysterious drone and plasmoid sightings over the Northeast United States have captivated the public imagination and raised significant questions about aerial security and the potential existence of unexplained phenomena. While various theories abound, from advanced military technology to natural atmospheric events, answers remain elusive. Continued investigation and transparency are essential in, demystifying these occurrences and addressing public concerns. So now that's done, let's really deep dive into this. We're going to go back beyond, using scientific analysis, UFO tracking methods, and investigative techniques to break down what these plasmoid-like objects and drone swarms really are. Are they natural plasma formations? Are they military experiments? Or are these something even stranger? So such a dimensional rift, maybe a dimensional rift in space-time. We'll get into that. So let's do part one. What are plasmoids? The science behind the mystery. The term plasmoid refers to self-contained balls of ionized gas held together by magnetic fields. They can be formed naturally in lightning strikes, nuclear fusion experiments, and even some space weather events. Plasma phenomena and known explanations, we have, this can happen by ball lighting, which is a rare, unexplained electrical phenomenon where glowing spheres of plasma appear after lightning strikes. I don't know if you guys know this, lightning and, even the sun, they're made of plasma. So we have auroral plasmoids, which are high-energy plasma formations that can appear in the upper atmosphere sometimes mistaken for UFOs, obviously. I mean, look at them. Everyone's thinking that now, if that is the case. Then we have laser-induced plasma, which the U.S. Navy has developed laser weapons that create glowing plasma objects in mid-air to confuse heat-seeking missiles. So could this tech be in testing right now over New Jersey, possibly to test and see if these drones can outsmart these plasmoids? That maybe it's just all one big test, but... So if these are natural plasma formations, why are they increasing in frequency? Some scientists are baffled by the sheer number of reports, and plasmoids should be rare and random, yet we're seeing them appear consistently in the same regions of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and even New York. I actually have a personal theory on this that I'll get into in a bit. These patterns defies scientific explanations, leading us to ask, could these be artificially created, or are we witnessing something new? Now, before I get into some of these other theories, I kind of want to, give my opinion really quick on what I think this is. I think it's somewhat natural, but it's also creating some very unusual environmental, problems with Earth. And, for those of you who do not know, the poles are shifting, and, north is becoming south pole type of stuff. I feel like that clearly has something to do with it, among the weather patterns that have been going on with all these crazy storms we've been having in 2025. So I feel like that definitely has something to do with it. And I feel like the polar shifts, the magnetic shifts are also creating something in the sky that's, bringing these plasmoids to light, bringing them more up there in the sky. But let's go into part 2. So are these dimensional rifts or beings from another realm? Many UFO researchers have theorized that some sightings aren't extraterrestrial spacecraft, but interdimensional phenomena. So glimpses of objects popping into our reality from parallel universes, essentially. Why this theory is getting more attention, though, is the plasmoid objects move erratically, obviously, as you've seen in some of these videos. Unlike traditional aircraft or even drones, these objects appear, shift position instantly, and then disappear. And they don't respond to gravity. If they were solid drones, they would follow predictable movement patterns. Instead, they flicker, hover, and then vanish. And then we have witness reports, and we've seen these all over TikTok. Energy disturbances. Some eyewitnesses claim electronic devices will malfunction, which we've seen with like radio stations and stuff. And they do feel a pressure shift when these objects appear, and it's something often associated with high energy fields. So it's a little bit bigger of a deal than the government is making out, but let's not get into that yet. Here's some scientific possibilities of what is going on here. So we have a plasma vortex theory. Certain plasma formations could create localized warping effects, distorting space-time on a microscopic level. Then we have the Einstein-Rosen bridges, which we call also micro wormholes, which some physicists speculate that tiny fluctuations in quantum energy could open brief windows to another reality, which is crazy when you think about it. Like, it's literally just interstellar, except it's happening now. Quantum plasma intelligence is the third theory, which is a wild theory that suggests that the plasma itself might be a form of life evolving as a energetic intelligence rather than a biological organism. If true, these objects could be the first recorded evidence of another dimension briefly intersecting with ours. So let's go into part 3, and we're going to talk about the military connection. So we're going to go back to the drones here. Are these experiments or are they surveillance drones? The key fact here is the U.S. military has experimented with advanced drone swarms and plasma-based illusions for years. The Air Force, Navy, and DARPA have all tested drone formations that mimic UFOs for both psychological operations and battlefield deception. Recent revelations about the New Jersey drones, we have witnesses describing mass drones in formation, some the size of SUVs. So obviously some reports say that the drones were completely silent, suggesting advanced propulsion, which I don't know if you've ever heard a drone. They are pretty quiet. Some of them have a buzz, but for the most part, they're quieter than an airplane. And we have law enforcement and military denied involvement, but similar technology is known to exist, and they do use them. So are we dealing with experimental craft, or are we dealing with something else here? Two major theories for this one is the high-altitude drone testing for surveillance or battlefield strategy. Testing swarm coordination over civilian airspace, for example. It could be a private military contractor conducting unauthorized experiments. And some drones might release small plasma bursts for deception or data collection. And we have the plasma-based camouflage and energy weapon testing theory, where the U.S. Navy's laser plasma project can create glowing orbs in the sky. And this kind of goes to like that Project Bluebeam crap. Could these be prototypes of energy-based weapons designed to confuse radar and infrared sensors, though? Because that could be useful if it comes to drone warfare. Here's like kind of where we want to figure out like why now, like why the increasing frequency of the sightings. I kind of brought this up earlier with I think it's the Earth's magnetic activity increasing. Some UFO waves have coincided with solar activity peaks. Secret projects are being tested in urban areas as well. Instead of remote deserts, tests are now happening in high-density cities like New York and New Jersey, or like another, issue, we are becoming more aware. So with more cameras and satellites, we're capturing more unexplained objects than ever before. Since the surge of these drones that kind of started everything in New Jersey, it's gotten a lot more people to look up from their phones and look into the sky, and they're starting to kind of see that, the skies aren't what I remember them being. Something weird is going on up there, and we've been really distracted with, our phones or our devices or whatever. No one, like, some people really look up at the sky, but others don't really. So I think that's kind of good that it's got us looking up. And also, we don't know what's going on, so we're having not necessarily mass panic, but there's definitely concern to be had there. So what do we really know? Let's get to the final part of this video. What is confirmed? We do have plasmoid-like objects that have been seen across New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. The United States military has technology to create plasma illusions, and we have large-scale drone formations that have been spotted with no clear explanation. Some witnesses experienced electronic malfunctions and physical pressure shifts. But what remains unexplained here? Are these objects natural, artificial, or something entirely new to us? Why are so many sightings happening in one specific region? And could these be a form of intelligent plasma life or even interdimensional rifts in time and space? So let's get to these closing thoughts here. The New Jersey drone swarm and plasmoid UFOs remain one of the most perplexing ongoing mysteries in modern aerial phenomena. But what do you think? Could these be military experiments or a new scientific discovery or something just we aren't meant to understand, or just we can't even comprehend what it could possibly be? So drop your theories in the comments below. And you can get early access to all of our deep dives that we do here on YouTube. Like, YouTube's where we do our main deep dives, but we do Patreon exclusives, which we're working on right now. You can go to our Patreon, and then you can get all the videos we do on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. You can get those way early if you sign up for Patreon. There's like 3 different tiers. You can go check those out. But our whole thing with Patreon here is to be able to fund what we're doing full time, and also we're trying to fund a documentary, and we're doing a real deep dive investigative journalist thing into something that I can't really spoil yet. It's pretty intense what we're getting to, but we need to fund that as well. So we're working on that project as well as this. So yeah, please, if you can support Patreon, we try and do it for a good cause. We're trying to get people help as well. So yeah, if you could do that, that would be excellent. And yeah, remember again to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for support. And yeah, it was nice talking to you about this. It was a fun time. So yeah, let's unlock the truth and investigate the unknown together. All right. Yeah, so we'll talk about that next week. Whatever it is, stay tuned and stay safe out there.